Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the MFD Podcast. This is the first podcast we will do, and hopefully many more to come. Oh, and getting a drink. My name is Daniel Householder. I am going to be one of your hosts for the MFD Podcast.
And I'm Owen Bailey. I will be another host. Shut up. We are both bass drums in the Marching Falcons drum line. That's what MFD stands for.
Probably not anything else.
Nope.
Don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it.
But think about it. But don't.
But don't.
So,
yeah.
Today's date is October 1st, 2022.
It's October already?
It is, yeah.
Dang.
This year's gone by very fast.
In some ways.
So, did you bring any topics you want to talk about today?
Yes, I wrote down a few topics. First one on my list is the Bloom Carroll Band. Every now and again, not band related, we'll talk about football team, but not for the Bloom Carroll Band. But I have the Bloom Carroll Band, and I want to say I had to notice that they were very, very in step.
Yes, they were.
A lot of bands, Fairfield Union, it's got the white stripe down the side, and that's so everyone can see us marching. But they still had black pants. Now, white stripes and white shoes, bright lower half is a Fairfield Union thing.
Don't know why.
I mean,
it looks good.
It was a way back thing, I think. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone or call anyone old, but it was a long time ago.
Old.
But one thing I want to mention with that is their cops. For those of you that don't know, if you're not in the band, you're listening to this, cops is sort of like the what we play in between cadences, which are our fun little things that we dance to when we march up to the field. Can you add to that?
Cops is very, 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 very repetitive.
Very repetitive.
It gets quite annoying after a while.
Especially
but I don't think I get annoyed.
Cadence.
Yeah, especially when you don't call it cadence. But I don't think I'll get annoyed of Bloom Carroll's. That was pretty nice.
No. Bloom Carroll's cops was... I mean, I don't even think I heard their snare line.
Nope, it was pretty much all bass drums.
It was all bass drums. It was like... I forget how it went. All I just remember is that it was nothing but the bass line.
Well, I heard a few other drums.
Well,
but
when they got closer.
Yes, when they got closer.
But from a distance, you can't hear anything but bass drums, no matter what band you're listening to, really.
Which is how it should be.
Yes, how it should be.
Yeah,
But yeah, they sounded really good, and I compliment their band. Of course, our Fairfield Union band, I try to keep our spirits up when we hear something that awesome coming down the hill. I try and tell our band that, remember, it might be a lie, but we are better than them. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's true, I guess.
Came up with that on the spot, so I was kind of like, yeah, I'll say it. Let me get spirits up in a funny way, but not really get anyone's spirits up, but be funny. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Fairfield Union's band.
Yeah.
It was an interesting day.
Interesting week this week.
Very interesting week.
For sure.
Our halftime show was not... I mean, a lot of the crowd probably won't notice it as much. And for the band directors probably... I mean, they notice it more than the crowd, but they probably don't notice it as much as the people playing and marching at the same time. Mm-hmm. Because you can think back to times when you really mess something up, but the band director is still like, you sounded really good out there. Good job, guys. And you're like, that sucked.
Yeah. Like, last night's halftime show, not the best. I mean, it wasn't terrible.
I mean, we still got some cheers.
Mm-hmm.
We got more cheers from our crowd than they did for Bloom Carroll, so.
Yes.
That was better.
But Bloom Carroll, the one thing I didn't like about Bloom Carroll's halftime show, it felt like it was almost all speaker, not band.
That is one thing we, most of us like to emphasize, is that we are not a fan of speakers in bands. Because, I mean, excuse me. Props are one thing, but to go with a speaker when most of your speakers are supposed to be the band is sort of like not a band. That's a speaker.
Yeah. I don't know how it's a let in competition band. Like
I don't understand that either, and I'm completely with you on that topic.
And this is just our opinions.
This is just our opinions. And if you want to be offended by them, that's okay. If you think speakers are awesome, that's fine too.
I mean, speakers are awesome.
Speakers are awesome. Trust me, we love speakers.
We love speakers. But not in marching bands.
Not in marching bands.
They do not, we personally believe, they do not hold a spot in band.
And this is not just a thing pertaining to Bloom Carroll. Many other bands do the same thing.
Yes.
But this is one of our
pet peeves.
Pet peeves. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, pet peeves.
Yeah.
We won't go down the line. I'll talk about fourth quarter here in a few minutes, but I want to talk about post-game first.
And before we get into fourth quarter, we should tell them what that is.
Okay.
Some might not know.
Yes, that too. So we'll get into that here in a sec. Post-game, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, because you probably leave the game before to watch us.
Which really doesn't bother us.
It really doesn't bother us. I mean, when we get hammered that hard by a really good team,
I can understand.
I understand why you leave.
Yeah, yeah. That was an interesting game. Not
a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Yep.
We're just that.
We're just gonna stay away from that.
Yeah.
All right. So go on.
Post game, our first performance of Long Train. One of our
in 2 years. This is our first performance.
In 2 years, actually. Yeah. This is our first performance of Long Train, except for the alumni night.
Except for alumni
because
night,
we did play it on the Falcons alumni band night.
And we mean first performance in 2 years as current Marching Falcons.
Yes. I felt like we did very good on Long Train. It was a very, very good sound. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm middle of the percussion section, so all I hear is a bunch of drums ringing and cymbals crashing, so...
Stupid cymbals.
Yeah.
But I think for the first generation tubas that we've had in 2 years, they did pretty good with the tuba dance.
They did.
And if you don't know what we mean by tuba dance, I'm sure you can find something on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just look up Fairfield Union.
Just look it up.
Long Train, I guess. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. If you look up Long Train, I mean, there's plenty of videos of Long Train.
I didn't know if other schools did it.
I mean, OU did it.
They did a trombone thing.
They did trombone.
I think they did a trombone for Long
Train. I don't quite remember that.
I'm not sure. It was a haze. It was like 12 at night. So.
It was like midnight, and we didn't know what was going on. We were kind of dancing at the same time. So it was like, hey, we're not watching, we're just listening and screwing off. So,
but that was a lot of fun that day.
Very fun. A very fun day. A very interesting day, too. On some topics. Won't get into that, but nothing inappropriate.
No.
And I mean that. That's seriously nothing inappropriate. But we had some interesting run-ins. If you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You remember now.
We'll just
skip over that. That was
Yep.
But that was a fun day overall.
So, yep.
And also for post game, our was it our first performance of Land of 1,000 Dances?
Either first or second, but I think
First or second, one or the other.
that was the best we've played it all
Yes.
year, even at practice. That sounded pretty good.
Definitely. That was a very good post game.
A very fun post
A
game.
very fun post game too. Those are some of our most
Enjoyed.
beloved songs.
That's an even better word.
That's a big word for me.
That.
Okay. Now we'll get into a fun topic. Fourth quarter. For those of you not in the student section,
Because half of our band members still don't know what fourth quarter is.
yes. If you ever are in fourth quarter, which is nearing the end of the game if you don't watch football. Confusing why you don't watch football if you go to the football game, but
Some people just go there to play with their friends.
yeah, that's true.
I did that in middle school and stuff.
I never did that.
Yeah, you're weird.
I-
Maybe I'm the weird one. I don't know.
oh well.
We're both weird. No,
Fourth quarter, nearing the end of the game. Most of you know what fourth quarter is. But what we call fourth quarter is, what do we call it? Like fourth quarter percussion cadences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's call it MFD. Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter MFD.
Yes. For again, those who weren't listening, MFD is Marching Falcons Drumline.
Yes. Don't think about it.
Don't think about it too much.
Fourth quarter is probably one of our favorite things to do as a drum line and as
In
a
band.
percussion
I
section.
love
In band,
fourth quarter.
really. Except the only reason I don't say in band is because of the fact that not everyone in band does fourth quarter.
No. I'm not. I mean, just in band, like band class, marching, stuff like that. Like,
You mean like being part of the percussion section?
Yeah. Like, just being part of the band. Fourth quarter is my favorite thing.
Yeah, that is.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, that is true. Fourth quarter is a very entertaining time for a percussionist.
Mm-hmm.
And some of our helpers, thank you for you guys' assistance. Kind of butchered that. Thank you for your assistance. Very nice holding Colin's drum. Turning Colin upside down to play a solo. A very good job.
Mm-hmm.
Got the student section really riled up when Carter put Colin on his
back.
on his
Or front.
upside down. But yeah, turned him upside down to watch that solo and to play that solo. A very tough thing to do. I mean, when you look at it, it's like, oh, I can do that. But also you think, oh, I can't do that. But really, everything is flipped upside down quite literally.
It feels like a different space.
Yes.
It's
Because when you hit things, unless it's a bass drum, you're going down most of the time for snares and tenors. To flip you upside down and play it like that, you need to have the control to hit it like your sticks are attracted to gravity on the upside. So like your sticks are floating in air or something.
And not only do you have to hold your head up, like, for that long, it's a pretty decently sized solo for a drum line.
Yeah.
But
It's a long cadence for a drum line.
it is a long cadence.
It's a fun cadence, though.
It is very fun. Probably my second favorite behind FU.
FU is also a very fun cadence.
Which means Fairfield Union.
Yes, for those of you non-Fairfield Union kids or parents or adults or whatever you are. FU is still a cadence that I wish we would play or would play more. Or
Not
play it
just
all
in
because we
practice.
haven't played it all yet.
We've played it once.
Did we play it for a crowd?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. What crowd was that?
I don't remember.
Don't remember.
I do not remember what crowd it was for, but I remember playing it once this year in front of an audience.
Okay.
So.
Oh, well, not that big of a deal.
You know what it was? It
What's
was
that?
during the game. Not fourth quarter, but it was during the game. I can't remember what game it was, but I remember, when. I think it was,
Okay.
before halftime. So. Yeah, I believe we've played it once this year.
We do need to learn FU much more, but it is a really sweet cadence. Hopefully sometime soon you guys can hear it, if you haven't heard it already. Mm-hmm. And if you have heard it, hopefully you can hear it better. Because we can play it better eventually, maybe.
Someday. Yep.
Past that, we kept it short and simple today. I mean, you got any other topics?
Not that isn't very controversial, no.
No? Okay.
Pertaining to band.
Yes.
Because we're going to try to keep this pertaining to band.
Yes, this is pertaining to band. This is not personal opinions. This is not...
Well,
it
actually,
is.
yes, it is.
It is very personal opinion.
It very much is.
But we are not going to add in, politics or something like that. We're not going to add in politics to this, especially because there was a lot of political diversion within the band. Mm-hmm. Those are big words.
Yes. Radical rights and radical lefts.
Yes, very much.
I think there's no middle ground.
There is no middle ground in that band.
Yeah.
And it is very divided.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one thing that we need to learn very well, is we need to learn how to get along. There is way too much drama in the band.
I think there needs to be more leadership training. Honestly.
There definitely needs to be. I'm an FFA officer, so and we have a lot of FFA. Well, not just FFA, but leadership training in general.
Yeah, and I'm Scout. I'm NYLT trained. I'm OA. NYLT is National Youth Leadership Training. OA is a very honorable thing for Scouts. And I used to be an SPL, Senior Patrol Leader.
Yeah, very decorated.
So,
So, we both have experience in leadership, and that's what we need to that's what we need to get our leaders into is leadership training.
Yes.
Because, did they go through any leadership training?
They did 2 days, I believe.
2 days. Wow.
Don't take that with a grain of salt. I wasn't there for their leadership training because I'm not on the leadership team.
Me neither.
Yeah. But yeah, I believe there could have been more training to help with some of the issues we're having this year.
There have been a lot of dramatic issues, not dramatic, but a lot of drama.
Oh, yeah.
And really, if it's not at first, it's always annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not a drama person, which I'm not.
I try not to be. I know sometimes I am. I can't control it, but I try my best not to.
Sometimes my opinions will make people try and start drama.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
But I can't change that. I mean, we can learn to get along, or you can be mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a great way to look at it. Get along or be unhappy.
And what I think a lot of people don't realize is if we actually get along and our leaders would do what leaders are supposed to do, we would sound good. Really good.
We would sound really good. And we could also work a lot better.
Yes, much more efficient. Right now it's not
Yes,
very
much more efficient. It's not efficient right now.
No.
We don't do things
the way they
should be done.
I think Mr. Kitchen, Mr. Gregory, and Mr. Savage are doing a great job this year. With 3 of them there, it's made it a heck of a lot easier.
It really has, because they divide it into sections. I mean, they make it much easier on all the kids because now we don't have to worry about, or one of our band directors doesn't have to worry about all the problems. It's nice having a lot more band directors. But don't forget Mrs. Howe, Jessica Howe.
Yeah. Well, I don't really see flat core as band. That's my opinion.
Well,
but I don't see them as band members.
I
honestly.
agree with you, but they also should get credit for
They should get credit
because they are on the field with us,
and they put in a lot of effort.
And they do put in a lot of effort. I know they've had some run-ins.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about.
Yes, they've had.
We will not get into that.
We won't get into that because that's drama. But they have had some run-ins, but they've worked through it, and they do pretty good working through that. So
yes,
I give compliments to them. Is that all?
Unless you got anything else.
I got nothing else. Well, I guess unless Owen comes up with something while I'm doing our on-the-spot outro. Thank you for joining us, if you did join us, for the first MFD podcast. We hope to do many more. Hopefully we can find the time.
Yep.
And I guess that's all, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube or something like that.
It will be on YouTube.
This will be on YouTube. I don't know.
Someday we might be on Spotify. I don't know.
Let's do Spotify. Spotify podcasts.
Spotify podcasts cost money.
Okay, we'll figure out a free way.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
Until this gets monetized. All right.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.